Viewpoint. Last week we started a conversation with Dr. Bashiru Abiodun Olanrewaju, and I promise you that we are going to be concluding the conversation today. So join us as we start, and I'm sure you are going to enjoy every bit of it. Let's look at unionism then and now, because people will always say that the labor leaders at times will have sold the workers. We agree on one thing now. When they come out of the meeting, it's another thing they will be saying. Are we saying that unionism then, when you, I know you are still a union leader, but then when you are the NLC chairman, let's compare it with what we have presently. For example, now we have issues, government issues affecting workers. Fuel increase here and there, transportation has increased, things like that, and it's affecting workers. Now, it's like workers, they will soon be agitating for increase in salaries. What I'm really saying is that when we look at it, when we were the NLC leader, and now, that I know that you always speak for me, even when I'm not there, and we always put the position of the people, the workers, across to the government in a way that to benefit the workers.
The situations are similar or not the same. Let's first get this fact right. Human beings are usually very nostalgic about the past. People say, even you and I will say, when we were young, we did this, we did that, we do that. There was no phone, there was no internet. I will say, I almost say, the children of nowadays are not even enjoying anything. That will go to bed with keke, bicycle. We'll rent bicycle, they will take our shirt, we'll follow, people will follow masquerade. People will say, no, we are not enjoying. That is being nostalgic about the past. People will say the past is always, they will say the past was better than now. It's always like that. That is nostalgia. We are being nostalgic about the past. That is one. Two, there's a difference between a military government and a civilian government. In a military government, in most cases, maybe the governor and one or two other persons, or maybe 2 or 3 or 4 commissioners. But the governor, in most cases, were non-indigenous. I'm not saying all indigenous, I'm not saying okay, but in most cases, they are the military era. And even in situations where you add them as indigenous, they were not part of the community. They were seen as outsiders. They were regarded as foreigners. So when union leaders come out to talk and they were to be victimized, community will rise up to support union leaders. Because union leaders are society mobilizers. When it comes to politics, we are in a civilian regime, in a political dispensation. Compare the leaders, the military governor and the civilian governor. The military governor had no platform other than the barracks, and nobody in the barracks can come out and say, I'm supporting this military governor. But a civilian governor will be there by virtue of the fact that he belongs to a political party. And members of his party, even when they know that this guy is wrong, because of the perks of office that they want, the crumbs, because of the benefits, and because of the fact that some people want to take over from that guy when he leaves office, I don't want to offend him, will be mobilizing. So you now have the union on one side, mobilizing the workers, and you have members of the organs or the governors or president's party mobilizing against the workers. Not necessarily because the union is strong, but because they believe that if they do not do that, they may not get any peg. And those of them who want to become commissioners, ministers, special advisors, or governor or president tomorrow, who want to do eye service. So you now have two groups mobilizing, which was absent during the military regime. Though during the military regime, we were incarcerated, some of us were killed. Nothing like that happens in the civilian dispensation. The third point is that, let's take Oyo State. I've always asked people, what do union leaders want from an administration at the state level? It's workers' welfare. But what is workers' welfare? Let's just break it down. What is workers' welfare? One, that is open to all, regular payment of salary. Regular. 2, non-victimization. 3, promotion. 4, paying allowances and leave bonus. And right from when Babalaruja became the governor, through Ajimabi to the governor, we now have 13th month, whether it is a percentage or total. So when people allege the current leaders, and I always ask, I'm not saying they are perfect, no human being is. Mention your salary. Are we being paid regularly in the court service? I've not gone to the value of the money, but the agreed one, are they being paid? Are they being paid regularly? Yes. Are they being paid by 25th? Are they getting their leave bonus?
Yes.
They do. Are they getting promotion? Yes.
As and when do yes.
Do they get 13th month, which is not even part of it, it's just the icing on, an icing on the cake?
An icing on the cake.
Yes. If you limit welfare to those items I've enumerated, then you cannot allege these union leaders of failure. I might be wrong, but if we all agree that those are the essential naira value, purchasing power, today, regardless of how much you earn, you are a poor person. You are in penury. In fact, I'm a pensioner, and even those who are working, I have them around me. Whenever they get salary, they become sadder than they were before.
Exactly.
Because they will have spent the money before it is received. Neighbors hear that you have collected a salary, they are coming.
Exactly.
For by 18, they will start coming to tell you, your child, they have sent him out of school, your child is sick, this one has just completed his vocational training, he needs to do this, all those things. I've not even gone to burial ceremony, which is part of our bastardized culture. I'm not going to them. When you look at the purchasing power of the salary, the so-called, so that purchasing power is not there. And that is where people now come in and say that unions are not trying. But they always blame the union. Let's call them out on protest or strike tomorrow. It is the same member of the problem that we say it is one opposing party that is using we are everybody or whatever insect hides itself. So people always blame the union. But for the unionists, they are equally a little bit, they have some shortcomings. That's why they are strength. None of us is perfect. They are as not as communicative as they should be. I don't know why they are afraid of calling people from time to time to tell them what's going on. But I know they hold their state council meetings regularly. But I can talk to that person. We should be able to identify. We should do mapping, conflict mapping. Our guys, who are their confidants? Their wives, their husbands, their friends, even among us, a junior staff, a driver, the clerics, the mosque or the church they attend, members of their cooperative group, maybe the chairman of their land organization, somebody, so even a son or daughter, somebody somewhere is there that is the confidant of your boss. Befriend that confidant. Okay. And before you start, let him know, yes sir, or ma, I'm the current NSC chairman, current chairman of Ratawu, current chairman of UJ, current chairman of Noge. I said, I know you are close to our guy, and our guy is doing good, but I want to be close to you also. Once you are our guy's friend, where are your children? So that if there are issues, before an issue escalates, you will be able to intervene. Nobody, no elderly person will hear that and see you as an enemy. But what we have nowadays is that instead of doing that, some of them become slavish. One, to their stomach, and two, in quotes, to fame. And workers see them. And that slavish attitude makes it difficult for them to tell the organs, whether political or public servant helps, the truth. And like the Yorubas who say, Tenubaje, Ojoti, you cannot be on the dining table eating and be talking. That would be a dining table eating and be talking. So if we are part of them and you are slavish, and you get contract, or every time you follow them everywhere, you cannot tell them the truth. And one bitter truth that most of us do not know is that the top is lonely. All those guys, whether political head or public servant head, the top is very lonely. The only group they see regularly are the sycophants. The sycophants. And they know that these people are sycophants. They know they are sycophantic.
Because they need people around them, they still must have them around.
No. Because you cannot be a leader and be a loner. Sorry. Yes, let me use that one loner. Than say that I don't want to interact with anybody. The Yorubas will say, you say this firewood is not good, you remove it. Another firewood is not good, remove it. Which one were you going to use to cook the is it corn and beans that you are cooking? So that is the challenge. But as a unionist, if you befriend their confidence, of course that confidence must have been with them before they become whatever they are now. And once they know that you are actually always honest. Because I remember a case when I was in union, a politician came and said, go to court, we will fund it. I said, we don't need your money, sir. We do not need your money. No. We are not being political. Our interest is our minimum wage that was reduced. Our salary was, I will not take it. We are not going to go. And they have sacked some people. Those people they have sacked, I was one of them. We will fight that. But we'll get this. We are still union leaders, whether they have suspended us or whatever. And you recall there was a time they came to NS Secretariat to beat us and to stone and destroy things. All those times we were still telling our guys, my colleagues in the union then, and myself, were still telling the state government the truth. And we did not bend. That was why we were able to get to why we got there. But what we are saying is that union leaders today are like the past. They are former senior colleagues. But the major challenge today is that some of them are slavish. They are not real union leaders. And there is no society or group you get into that you not find one Judas and one Petiru. So they are like that. But once something spoiled the broth, or it is one bad egg, spoil the whole, one bad apple, spoil the entire package, the entire pack that you have. And that's the challenge. So some what I'm saying is that, one, past union leaders and today's union leaders are similar. But they are not the same. The situations are not the same. And during this military regime, military rulers already had enemies within the community. But during the civilian regime, sycophants are too many. And because political parties are mobilizing agents, they mobilize also like union mobilize. So we now have competing groups within the society that make it difficult. And of course, as leaders, as union leaders, we call have our shortcomings because some of us are extremely timid. Some of us do not believe in God and those who have put us there. And some of us feel that they are few, but unless you are slavish to your master, you cannot get anything. And they are the ones spoiling our names. But what we do is, let's talk to our leaders to be more communicative, to talk to us more. And members can do that. At the BCOS here, tell the NUJ BCOS chapter, what are you doing for us? Tell the other BCOS chapter, what are you doing for us? Bring them together. Bring them together. The senior association, bring them together. We want to have a meeting. All of us, let us have a meeting with our leaders. These are the things we want. Go to NLC, go to your state headquarters, from there go to the NLC. Tell them, and if you want us to be there, we will follow you. We are not equally being political in quotes. I'm not talking of politics in town now. We're not, let me say, being conscious. We're not being conscious enough about our rights and privileges. That's it. But things can be better and things will be better.
Okay, let me quickly ask, because I know time is not on our side. Are you intending going into politics? Because, well,
am I going?
You are a leader. You are a leader of leaders.
All of us are political animals. All of us are political animals. We don't need to lie about that. But the political dispensation we have, we can go into politics without going to elective offices. Why? Or if you are conscientious, if you are a retiree, and if you are strong-minded and strong-willed, and you know what is right, you can never get there. Let me start, if you want to become the governor, and they say the form alone is 50 million, and the entire gratuity for 35 years is under 10 million. I must have even spent that money before you left the service, before the money was collected.
So that is meant for...
No. Two. So a politician told me that if you want to become a governor in your state, that we have about 351 words or thereabout. And from the day you express your intention, to the day you eventually get elected, you must spend an average of 10 million per word. Multiply that by 351, unless you are a rogue. Or a rogue is funding you. Or somebody who truly believes that let's make the society better, and I'm not asking for anything. Sponsors, you cannot get there. And if somebody sponsors you, whatever contract when you get there you want to do, you must go to that person. You cannot have your own mind. So it's difficult. But that's why that people should go into politics. If we are many, if some of us go there and we are many, we can make the difference. Not all politicians are bad. It is the circumstance and the environment many of them find themselves that made them join them. That if you cannot beat them, join them. But don't forget, they are our friends, they are our parents, our fathers, our mothers, our brothers and sisters, our neighbors, all those who have gone there. It is the pressure we put on them. Go to any political office holder's house by 6 a.m. you find a long queue there. Those have come to say that to you.
They now say, people will just be calling. I just assume that
everybody say better. That was their intention. So that was their belief. So in essence, I'm saying that all of us, let us join politics. But with a view to making the difference and believing that whether we do it right or not, the Lord, whatever name you call the Lord, before, between 1940 and 1960, somewhere here, between 60 and 70, 70 and 80, 80 and 90 and 2000 and up to now, where are they today? And where are even their children? Or not even any of their children. It's going to happen to us, whether we like it or not. Let's join them in politics, but let's do it right. Let's look for like minds. If we can do that, the nations tomorrow will be very bright. But if we don't do it, the nations tomorrow may be bleak.
And we'll see people complaining.
Everybody. Whereas everybody is guilty. We are all guilty. If you collect money to vote, whether it is 1,000 or 1 million, you are guilty. If you collect rights to vote, you are guilty. If you know that this guy is not doing anything, he came 4 years ago, we rallied around him, maybe even contributed, and he's here today and we are now saying, his father is good, his father was this, he's a Muslim, he's a Christian, he's Ibadan, he's Ogbomoso, he's Yoruba, he's Hausa, we are all guilty. Those sentiments are killing us in Nigeria. And politicians know that we are sentimental. They always exploit that sentiment to pauperize and oppress us.
All right. Now, 2 questions briefly before we leave. If you are being the minister or commissioner, minister of labor, what will you do differently?
Maybe I would have been sacked. Or I would have retired. Because I will befriend labor leaders.
Okay.
And I will be viewing issues from 2 prisms, their own side and government side. And I will be telling them everything. And the moment I leave their meeting, I either go to my Oga, and if my Oga is a little bit difficult to see, I'll be sending him several messages. And I'll be telling them, Oga, if this thing boomerang, I'll say it, I'll tell people that I told you. And I behave like my peers, I behave like that. I've worked in several ministries, even before I became a peer, before I became a labor leader openly. Go to the secretariat or any government, ask them about me. They'll tell you that was my attitude. I'll befriend them, hear their side, tell them government side, but still take their complaints or requests to government and tell government this is how we can do it. But if government continues to behave in their usual manner, I will resign or they will sack me. Because on there one day I will say, and now but we are advising them, they are not taking advice, and I will be sacked. So that's it. Yeah. But it's one of the most difficult positions to hold, Minister of Labor. Yeah. You are nobody's friend. Exactly. Even look at the issue of everyone that had been there. Their principals, the president hates them. Yes. Yeah. And workers will equally hate them. But they may not be telling workers what they are telling government. But most of them usually tell government the truth. But they cannot go out and defend workers. They will be defending government. And that's the challenge. So if they give me that position, there will be an agreement. Yeah. Okay? I'll be telling you the truth. And I'll even be bringing this, there will be quarterly interaction. It is needed. You see, leaders are not madmen. If you give them the situation of things. Let them see facts and figures. They are not saying don't do your project. What they are saying is take care of workers. Leaders should be having either quarterly meeting with union leaders across board or twice in a year, and dedicate a platform and have somebody who will be interacting between you and the leaders, and that person will have free access to you. And lastly, on that, every leader should have the phone numbers of all his union leaders, and when they call, even if he can't pick, he can say, I'll call you back. And he's able to do that. That is how to be a leader. Not that you are in government house anywhere in the country and you feel that you have gotten to the top of the tree, forgetting that you have to say, that once you get there, you cannot be there permanently, you still come down. And when you come down, you become part of us. And that's why we have this Yoruba proverb that if a rascally masquerade knows that he's going to off his costume and regalia and be an ordinary citizen again, it will not be that rascally. And past presidents, former president, we have former president, we have former governors, former commissioners, former PS.